What's your slingshot? Good luck, Charles.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in the next 5 minutes, what I'm about to share with you could potentially change your life. 3,000 years ago, in the Valley of Elah, a place that's about 35 km away from from Jerusalem, one of history's most famous battles took place. It's the story of David versus Goliath. My father, he was in the Taiwanese Navy for a very, very long time, and he captained battleships. Because of that, he got to go to Israel. And I remember as a child, he was showing me photos of the Valley of Elah and telling me stories of David versus Goliath. David versus Goliath, the shepherd boy versus the giant, the underdog versus the great warrior. That's the story that we know. Or is it? Today I'd like to share with you two ideas. The first one is, giants are not invincible. So here's a quick history lesson. The Valley of Elah is a long shadow place with two hills on each side. Philistines on one side and the Israelites on the other. Now, nobody wanted to make the first move because that means either side will be exposed. Eventually, the Philistines had enough because they waited 40 days. They decided to send out their greatest warrior, Goliath, a man that's over 2 meters tall, 130 kilograms, to challenge any Israelite to a single battle, one-on-one fight to the death match. Winner takes all. And click, click, there were no takers. Very, very simple reason. Goliath, his armor weighed 60 kilograms. He had a spear in one hand and he had a sword in the other. But Goliath was focused and solely focused on close quarter battle. David, on the other hand, he wasn't supposed to be there. David had courage. But at the same time, David, the most important thing is David changed the rules. He didn't fight Goliath from close quarter. He had a slingshot, and as it was going more than 7 revolutions per second, the stone goes, hits Goliath right between the eyes. The mighty giant falls. David takes the sword and cuts off his head and claims eternal victory. Now, my second point I'd like to make today is, what is your slingshot? As a business owner, you might think, I don't have the most social media followers. I might not be the most resourced. I might not be the most experienced. But we have something, what I call your dominant selling idea, that is truly, truly, truly unique to you. So what I suggest is, if you start with your story, it will help you identify your slingshot, because that is what makes you really, really unique. Now let me give you an example. So I'm a business story coach. And what I normally tell my clients over and over again is, if you can tell it, you can sell it. Now what that means is, by way of example, I had a client that's in a pharmaceutical company and they provided sinus solutions. But the problem is, nobody understands what they were saying, because this is what they were communicating to the crowd. 3% saline solution, hypertonic. But I look on your faces, you have no idea. So unless you have a medical background, you will know what I'm talking about. So that was the problem. They were using jargons. When you use jargons, it doesn't make you sound smart. It just makes you alienate people. But the good thing is, during the workshop, they realized and discovered what their slingshot was. Now the slingshot for them was, years ago, there was an ear, nose, and throat specialist. And he designed the formula specifically for people to breathe better after operation. Breathing better was their slingshot. And ever since then, they've been punting and practicing their message. From everybody from the secretary to the cleaners to CEO knows why they exist. We help people breathe better. My last point, and this is my parting thought with you, is it's not what we hear, it's what you can repeat. So what that means is, we have one shot to make a great impression. Start perfecting, start practicing your slingshot, and let's go slay some giants.